If you're standing in the middle of a workshop or a garage and you've just stared at that pile of parts, heavy equipment, or a stack of pallets, the first thought is usually, I could really use a lift, but I don't want to throw money at something that won't actually make my day any easier. That hesitation is real. You've probably already checked a few options on Amazon, read a couple of specs, maybe even watched a quick demonstration video that looks promising, but you still wonder if this particular scissor lift table will actually fit into your routine, hold the weight you need, and stay out of the way when it's not in use. The VESTIL Scissor Lift Table 20 by 41000, model SCTAB 10002040FP, sits in that gray area between nice to have and essential tool, and I'm here to walk through why that line matters for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's get clear on the kind of jobs this table is built for. It's a 20 by 40 inch platform that can lift up to 1,000 pounds, which immediately tells you it's designed for moderate-size loads. Think large toolboxes, stacks of sheet metal, a small motor, or a set of pallets that you need to raise for ergonomics or for better access to the underside. If you're a hobbyist who tinkers with motorcycles, a small shop owner who needs to move bulk parts on a regular basis, or even a DIY homeowner who wants to raise a workbench for painting or cleaning, this lift could be a real time saver. On the flip side, if you only ever lift a few sheets of plywood or you're looking for a heavy-duty industrial solution that can handle multiple tons, you'll quickly outgrow this model. A practical strength of the VESTIL unit is its straightforward hydraulic operation. You crank the lift handle and the platform moves up in a smooth, consistent motion. In my experience testing similar tables, the scissor mechanism ensures the load stays balanced across the whole surface while it's elevating. That means you don't have to worry about a piece tipping or wobbling as it climbs, which can be a frustrating problem with cheaper manual jacks that tend to be less stable. The 20 by 40 footprint is also a sweet spot for many workstations. It's big enough to accommodate a decent-sized workpiece, yet compact enough to slide under most standard workbenches or into a garage corner when you need to free up floor space. One area where the design truly shines is the fold-up feature. Once you're done lifting, you can lower the platform and then collapse the scissor arms, reducing the overall height to a low profile that can sit flat against a wall or be stored on a shelf. In a small shop that's already bursting at the seams, that ability to tuck the lift away without sacrificing floor space is a genuine advantage. I've seen shop owners who keep a similar lift in the corner of their yard and pull it out only when a big job calls for it. No permanent fixture, no permanent obstruction. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The first is the manual lift handle. While many users appreciate the tactile control and the fact that you never rely on electricity, it does introduce a physical effort component. Lifting the full 1,000-pound capacity isn't something you'll do with one pull of the handle. You'll need to crank steadily, and the larger the load, the more effort it takes. If you have limited upper body strength or you're prone to fatigue, you might find the lift a bit taxing after repeated use. A motorized version would eliminate that concern, but it also adds cost, complexity, and requires a power source. Another practical weakness is the lack of integrated safety locks. The table relies on the hydraulic lock to hold its position, but there's no secondary pin or latch that you can engage for extra security. In environments where the lift could be knocked or where vibration is common like a busy automotive shop, you'll need to be vigilant that the platform doesn't shift unexpectedly. Some users mitigate this by placing a wedge or additional block under the lowered table, but that does add an extra step to the workflow. When it comes to durability, the VESTIL table uses a steel frame with a powder coat finish. That finish does a decent job resisting rust, especially in a dry shop. However, if you intend to use this lift in a damp environment or outdoors where rain is a constant factor, you might notice surface corrosion over time. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to factor into maintenance planning. A simple routine of wiping it dry and applying a light coat of oil or protective spray can keep the surface looking respectable for years. Who should buy? If you run a small to medium-sized workshop where you regularly need to elevate loads up to a ton, and you value a tool that can be stored away when not in use, this VESTIL lift is a solid match. It especially makes sense for people who